Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third grade. My name is Mrs. Nix, and I am so excited to be here to support you to become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. I was just finishing up The Keeping Quilt by Patricia Polacco. It's a beautiful story about family traditions. Do you have something in your family that maybe it's been passed on from generation to generation and it has a beautiful story? That might be something that you would consider writing in your personal narrative. If you want to get some good ideas, check out this book. You can look it up on Sora or even visit your local library. Boys and girls, I am so excited to be here with you today. This week we've been focusing on our writing skills. Before we jump into that, I want to warm up our brains by looking at some high frequency words. Again, these are just review from our week. I want to go through some grammar and then we'll dive into our writing. With those high frequency words, remember, we not only want to be able to read them, but we want to be able to write them. So if you see a word that we're reviewing this week and you go, I don't remember all the time how to spell it, jot it down on a Post-it note and practice it this week. Try using it in your writing. All right, let's go through and let's read them together. Here we go. Because, big, been, black, before, blue, best, both, better, bring. Nicely done. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to jump right into our grammar lesson today. We're going to talk a little bit about subjects, and I'm going to give you a little heads up because tomorrow we're going to talk about predicates. But subjects, every sentence has to have a subject in it. Okay, what's a subject? I wrote it on a little Post-it note right here for me to remember how to say that to you. So I wrote it right here. Subject tells who or what the sentence is about. Okay, so I have 4 sentences right here. Help me find the subject of each of the sentences. I'm going to take a little green piece of index card and I'm going to place it underneath of our subject. So let's read the first one together. The pet store is busy on Saturday. So who or what is this sentence about? Is it about Saturday? No, it's not talking about Saturday. It's talking about the pet store. So I'm going to put a little line underneath pet store right there so that we know that that is what the story or the sentence is about. How about this next one? People smile at the puppies and kittens. Who is this sentence about? Ah, you're right. It's about the people because it's telling us what the people are doing. So I'm going to put a line right there. How about this third one? The goldfish swim in a big tank. Excellent. I hear you guys at home. You're getting so good. You said the goldfish is what the sentence is all about. All right, good job. And how about this last one? Furry rabbits hop around. What is that sentence all about? You got it. It's all about furry rabbits. And you know what? My little strip is going to be a little short, so I'm going to stick it under rabbits so that we know that that's where it belongs. Excellent job, third grade. So let's jump in and talk about our writing this week. We've been working on our personal narrative. So what's a personal narrative? Let's go back and review it. So a personal narrative tells a true story from the writer's life. It uses words such as I, me, we, my. Remember, it's a personal narrative, so you're going to be using pronouns and that first person language. It has a beginning, middle, and end. It uses time order words to tell the events in order. You're going to say, first this happened, Next, that happened. Then that happened. It includes dialogue or words of the people in the story. And then finally, it shares the writer's feelings about the experience. People, when we go through and when we're reading a story, we always like to know, how did the author feel about this experience? Okay, so we've been talking about the writing process. So we're working on our personal narrative, but we're going to go through a process. And we've been talking about each of these different pieces: plan, draft, revise, edit, and publish. On Monday, we talked about planning and what our plan might look like. Then yesterday we talked about our draft and what a draft would look like. Today, we're going to visit revise. So a revision is simply that. Let's talk about what's involved in a revision. So here is where we take our draft that we wrote yesterday, and now we're going back. Remember that draft we talked about? It can have spelling errors and grammar mistakes, all kinds of things. We're just getting our ideas down. But now we want to go back and possibly add some details or information to make it more clear, because now we're wanting to make sure that our message is well received. We might want to remove some distracting or unnecessary words or ideas, because maybe when we were writing down all of our words, we got a little jumbled with there. We got a little excited about something. But when you go back and you reread it, you go, I didn't really need that there. So you can take that and cross it off. You might consider replacing bland or overused language with more precise or stronger words. Sometimes we use the word said a lot, for example. Maybe you want to switch it up. Maybe you want to say exclaimed or shouted or whispered. Something to make it a little more interesting. And then you may need to rearrange some of your sentences. Remember, we want to make sure that we're telling things in sequential order. So even when you were writing down all of your ideas, maybe you remembered a sentence, but it needed to be told at the top. Or maybe you said it really soon and it needs to move to the end of the story. Today, we're going to talk about how to move those sentences. It's okay. So use a conclusion. Make sure that you provide a sense of closure for your readers. You want to make sure that they hear the whole story. You don't want them wondering, well, what happened? So provide that sense of closure. Here's the part that I think is most important, because once you kind of have an idea of how you like it, it's really important to have someone else look at your writing. We call this part peer review. There are some questions. I wrote it in blue right here, ask the writer. So here are a couple of questions that you would want to ask someone else, or someone else should ask about your writing. So they're going to want to ask you, what do you like about your writing? And what would you like to change? Because you know what? I guarantee it, there's always going to be something that you're really proud of, something you really enjoy. But there might be something, you just aren't really sure. It doesn't flow quite right. Or maybe your beginning to you seems a little bit boring. And maybe that person who's reading it has some suggestions. So you could have them, hey, do you mind checking out the beginning? I'm not real sure how I want to start it. Now, something that the person, when they hand back your paper, might tell you, they might tell you what else they would like to know, is actually how I should have said that. But they're going to want to tell you what else they would want to know. Maybe you left out some details. Remember, you're the one who knows the story really well, so you might have left out something. And they might also give you some suggestions on how to make your writing stronger. And then finally, you go back and you revise that rough draft. So what does that really look like? Let's take a moment and check it out. So I have a couple of things. First, I have a revision or a revised checklist. So thinking about a couple of things here. Does the narrative tell about a true story from the writer's life? Does the writer use sequence words to order the events? Are the events told in the order that they occurred? How about this one? Is dialogue included to help show what the characters are thinking and feeling? Does the conclusion tell how the writer feels about that experience? Does the writer describe feelings using personal voice? And finally, does the writer keep the reader interested by using different sentence types? So this is something you can use when you go through and you're starting to edit or revise your writing. So boys and girls, remember our story that we did yesterday, a camping surprise? We're gonna read it today because I went back and I had a little bit of help. And we went through and we made some changes, some revisions. So let's look and see what we put. All right, remember, this is just a rough draft, so we can mark it all up and make it ugly, that's okay. A camping surprise. Last summer, my family and I went on our first camping trip. We visited a beautiful lake near our town. I added beautiful. So I have always wanted to go camping. Now I thought I could add a little juicy detail right here. So I put, I was excited about hiking and swimming. Now you know why I was excited to go camping. Look at this sentence here that I've circled. I was really tired when we went to sleep that night. First, we set up our tent and ate sandwiches we brought. Okay, remember I talked about those order, we want things to be in sequence? It doesn't really make sense that I was really tired and went to sleep come before setting up my tent. So look at, I wrote a circle around it and I drew an arrow because I want it to come here at the end. So let's look. This would be the beginning of my paragraph. First, we set up our tent and ate the sandwiches we brought. Then, using those time order words, sang lively songs and told terrifying stories. I had so much fun. I was really tired when we went to sleep that night. Do you see how we put that in a better order? Yeah, it makes more sense. The other thing that I want to just point out is at the end, talking about that sense of conclusion, that sense of closure. So I added a little bit to our ending there. We're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. So I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we are going through our writing process. Remember, you're responsible for your learning success, so listen, ask questions, and share your ideas, because together we can do so much more. Have a great day, and I hope that you're revising your personal narrative. I look forward to seeing those next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.